John was alone, exiled on an island called Patmos, far from Jerusalem, far from the disciples, far from everything he had ever known. The sea crashed against the rocks constantly. The wind swept across the island. And probably no one imagined that in that place, one of the most impactful visions ever recorded would begin. John was already old. He had seen too many things. He had seen miracles. He had seen crowds follow Jesus. He had seen the crucifixion. He had seen the empty tomb. But nothing prepared him for what he was about to see. It all began with a voice. Not an ordinary voice. It was loud, deep, as if heaven itself were speaking. John heard that voice behind him and turned slowly. Then he saw him, a figure surrounded by glory. His eyes were like fire. His face shone with an intensity impossible to look upon. His voice sounded like many waters crashing at once. And John fell to the ground as if dead. The same man who years before had walked beside Jesus now trembled before that vision. Then that figure laid his hand upon him and said, "Do not be afraid." But the words were only the beginning. Because after that the visions began. John saw doors opened in heaven. He saw a throne surrounded by lightning, strange creatures full of eyes, elders bowing down, voices that seemed to shake everything. And in the midst of that scene, a sealed scroll appeared. A scroll that no one could open. No one on earth, no one in heaven, and John began to weep. Because it seemed that no one was even worthy to touch it. Until someone said, "Do not weep." Then the Lamb appeared. And when he took the scroll, everything changed. The seals began to open one by one, and with each seal the visions became more terrifying. Then the first horseman appeared. He rode a white horse. Afterward, another appeared, a red horse, related to war and violence. Then came a black horse, famine, scarcity. And finally the fourth horse appeared, pale, and its rider had a terrifying name, Death. The vision grew darker with each passing moment. It seemed as if the entire world was descending into chaos. But then something even more unsettling happened. When the seventh seal was opened, the sky fell silent. Complete silence. There were no songs, no voices, no movement. As if all of creation were awaiting something terrible. And after the silence, the trumpets began. Each sound brought destruction. Fire falling, darkness covering entire places. Waters turning, fear growing, but the visions continued to increase. Then John saw something enormous in the sky. A woman clothed with the sun, and before her a gigantic dragon, red, menacing, waiting to destroy the child who was about to be born. The scene seemed impossible. And then a war began in heaven. Angels fighting, darkness moving, the dragon being cast out. The tension grew ever higher. And then another disturbing vision appeared. A mark, a sign that divided people, and the pressure mounted. Everyone seemed to have to make a decision. Fear permeated John's visions, because the more he saw, the more it seemed the world was spiraling out of control. But after all the chaos, something changed. Suddenly the vision ceased to be dark. John saw a new sky, and a new earth. The old world had vanished. There was no more destruction, there was no more fear. And then a gigantic city descended. Brilliant, perfect, impossible to describe. Its streets were like crystal, its gates were enormous. And the strangest thing, the city didn't need sunlight. There was no darkness there. Then John heard a voice saying, "There will be no more death, no more pain, no more crying, no more suffering." After all the terrifying scenes, that moment seemed unbelievable. And in the middle of the city, John saw a river. Clear, brilliant, full of life. And by the river stood a tree unlike any other. Its leaves brought healing. After so much chaos, the vision finally revealed peace. And as John observed all of this, he was completely awestruck. So much so that he fell down before an angel to worship him. But the angel immediately stopped him. "Don't do that." The moment was unexpected. After all the supernatural creatures and visions, the message remained clear. Only God should occupy that place. Then came the final message. No monsters, no destruction, only a voice speaking once more. The voice said, "I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Let anyone who is thirsty come. Let anyone who wishes take the free gift of the water of life." Yes, I am coming soon. And after hearing those words, John understood something. The vision had ended, but not the message. Because it includes I use it today, thousands of years later, revelation continues to inspire fear, questions, and fascination, and perhaps the most unsettling question remains the same. What would you do if it all started to come true?